Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to share with you some ideas for what you can do with your task dashboard if you want to customize how you work with tasks in Capacities. So your task dashboard is what we're looking at right now, and it's accessible when you click on tasks in the left sidebar. It has several built-in sections that we created, but you can also create your own. Before I dive into that, I just want to share that we changed how the inbox works with a previous update. Before, you needed to assign a date in order to clear a task from the inbox. So for example, I need to order my new passport this weekend, and I will therefore assign it to Saturday, and that will be removed from the inbox and it will be added to the schedule tab, which you can see here. But we heard your feedback, and that sometimes you don't want to assign a specific date. There can just be a general willingness to do this task at some point in the future, and a common thing for that is using the someday maybe system from Getting Things Done. So with a recent update, we changed the default behavior of this inbox to accept either a date or a status. So if I go to this digitizing paper journals, which is a task I will one day get to, I'm just going to assign it to the Sunday status, and it will be removed from the inbox. And that means that I can get through this inbox and clear it more accurately without having to assign an arbitrary date to it. And this leads us very nicely into the custom sections that you can create. So I've just assigned that Sunday status to a task, and of course it would be useful for me to see all of the tasks which I have assigned the Sunday status to. To do that, you can add a new section and create a query. I've already done it, so it is an option for me to add here, and I can add this Sunday section, and now I see all of those tasks. The setup is really simple. I'm just filtering my tasks for where the status includes Sunday, and you can use this exact same logic for every other status as well. So I also created a next up section, which I can zoom into more specifically. Depending on how you manage your tasks, you might realize that you don't actually need all of the sections that we built into the task dashboard by default. And if that's the case, that's absolutely fine. What you can do is click on one of your headings at the top here and click remove. That isn't deleting the query, that still exists, but it's no longer a section here for you to click on. So it can declutter this space if you'd prefer a different setup. If you want to add it back again, you will find it here when you click on that add section button. You can also see that I've added one called my inbox, and I'm going to replace this inbox with the one that I created and just drag this over to the edge so I can access it more specifically. I'll open this query so you can see what I did. This is an example for a system for somebody who wants to see all of their tasks which are not tagged and which do not have a date property. But it removes those tasks that we're not expecting to give a date property to, such as the tasks that we will get to someday, or of course the tasks we've already done. Now, because these sections just use our query editor anyway, you can continue to customize this. So it isn't just about filtering what tasks appear, it can also be about how you want to see them. So for example, I can see that I've got a variety of statuses here, so it would be useful to group by the statuses just for easy access. And that's the first option that came up, so I don't have to do anything else there. And now I can see what I require, and I can hide the empty groups with that checkbox as well. Once you've decided on the conditions for the query, so that is what you're going to see, as always, you can choose how you want to see it with these views on the right hand side. I'll keep it in list view though for easy processing. Now you may be wondering why I added tags here as a filter, and that is inspired by the Getting Things Done methodology, which talks a lot about tasks and their context. It's a different type of context to how we talk about it in Capacities. If you look on this context tab, we're looking at the specific objects in which tasks are found, whereas for Getting Things Done, it's much broader. Like, can you do this at home? Do you have to do it in the office? Do you have to be at your desk? Do you have to be in the city centre? Where do you need to be in order to get that task done? And if that's something that you're already using with your task management setup, you can bring this into Capacities with the tags. So every task can be tagged. So I could tag this with work laptop, for example, which is where Figma is in my digital setup. And then I could create a query that shows me all tasks where they are tagged with work laptop. And the idea of these contexts is that you can very quickly dive into exactly what you can be doing wherever you are, rather than spending time deciding on what tasks you could do. So you can take this idea of tagging tasks with the necessary context for your life and create sections like this as required. The next query I want to show you is a little bit different. It's open tasks for my team, and I'll show you how that looks. What I'm doing here is, instead of knowing that I have two team members, Adam and Julie, and that they both have tasks, I don't have to go to their individual objects and then look at the tasks. I can pull out those tasks and put them in this query in front of me in one location for me to check them. So the way that that is done is I'm first of all filtering out all of the completed tasks. I obviously don't need to see those. And I am using this backlink objects option here, and I'm saying which objects I want to find these tasks in. Your tasks and your objects are technically linked together. That's how the context works. It's just a backlink displayed differently. So that's why we can look into the backlinks of these objects and pull out tasks that are undone from them. So you can add as many people as you would like to this selection, and then I've then grouped it by those backlinked objects. So I get to see the whole team and open tasks for them, but in a easy to digest way, which I have here. I thought we could reproduce this for projects as well, because this can also be helpful if you have tasks scattered across projects and you want to have one section in your task dashboard where you can see all of those tasks in those projects. So to do that, we're going to click on add section and add query, and I want to return all open project tasks. So I'll filter first to remove all of the done tasks, and then drill down more specifically to look only for tasks related to renovating the kitchen and preparing for the next offsite. And again, I will group that by their backlink objects so I can see more precisely what's going on. This task about finding the supply for the kitchen will come up twice because it isn't just mentioned in the renovate kitchen object, but also in the image. And if I go to my dashboard, there it is, available for me to dig into as needed. And just to keep it a bit cleaner, I will remove a section that I'm not using very much. So that's everything for this video. I hope it gave you some ideas of what queries you can add and how the mechanism works for adding pinned sections to your task dashboard in order to build out the setup that really works for you. If you have any questions or you have any queries that you have created that you're finding really helpful for task management in Capacities, then please let us know in the comments below.